start with, I think all of us get busy all our weekdays doing a lot of work, getting a lot of engagement mentally. And especially what happens is most of us are in the IT sector who are in the call as well, is you have that constant discussions going on, some agreements, some disagreements, some healthy arguments as well, which happen through the entire week. As the week passes by, I think we all pile up on those things as well about the number of arguments, the number of disagreements that we have, plus the next day work that kind of keeps us busy every day. We generally all start our day at 8:30. I'm sure it doesn't close at 9:30 or 10 o'clock because one, the type of the industry that we are on, and the second is about the customers that we have as well, right? You don't kind of disengage, and that used to happen a lot with me. That some Friday also, I had the same problem. And one of the other thing post BlackBerry days has happened is checking the emails, which I also got addicted for a very long time. Is checking my emails on Saturdays, checking my emails on Sundays, and what that probably started bringing to me was that I never got disconnected from work because one out of 10 email probably has an issue that is probably you will have to solve, or you probably it is related to your area of work. Soon I realized that one, by the time Monday comes, I'm still in the same mode that I left on Friday. My fatigues didn't go down, nor my mind also got disengaged anywhere. What I felt on Monday was that my week never ended, and I'm already tired by the time Monday arrived. So those Monday morning blues is something that probably I realized it too much, that it is happening too much with me, and not because I didn't like Monday. It is just that I didn't get disengaged the way it should have been. Obviously, that had some other effects as well about how much time I gave to my family, what my kid does. I slowly started realizing that my kid does not share what happens in his school as well. He probably discusses that more with my wife, which is absolutely okay. But the problem was I got disengaged from his school, his updates as well, because he thought I'm already preoccupied with my thoughts. If he's talking to me, my attention span probably is not that much that I should have given him. And it does not matter whether it is weekdays or weekends. We probably my attention span was the same. And slowly realized that he's always into his own work. There's no point in asking him because I don't get back any opinions or opinions from him, or nor do I get any nor do I get any suggestions from him, except probably doing some math sometimes with me. But that was it. That is where I decided that I need to probably change um, the way I have been engaging, the way I have been behaving. There needs to be a fundamental change that has to happen. Obviously, I tried a lot of things. Started with swimming, didn't last much long. A gym, I have a membership, but the gym benefits because they get more members because I don't end up there most of the times. So they are very happy with me. But then I realized that I think something more engaging probably has to be there, and then gym probably comes number two as well. That is where I registered for. I'm part of a group here, which is a lot of us have their own state cultural groups. Here it is Maharashtra Mandal, which is there in Chicago. Very vibrant group, and that is where they first started this something called as a dhol, which is a dhol tasha as we call it in Maharashtra. I said, let me learn dhol. And I was pleasantly surprised that a young group of six people were about to teach us, who were 20, 23 years old. Maximum 24. They were doing their MS and PhDs in University of Chicago. We were all about 20 years older to them. And every Saturdays we started a 3-hour practice with them and got to learn so many things from them about the way they have managed it, the way they have been doing their PhDs, and some basics that they started teaching us, right from tying up a roll and why it is important and how many years they have done. After probably 1.5 years of learning, I think I'm probably 25% good in it. Those guys have done it for 15, 20 years, right from probably age of 8 or 9. That is where my first disengagement started from the work, because I gave those 3 hours dedicated. In that also, initially what used to happen is after 1.5 hour of practice in the break, I used to check my emails. Um, Later point in time, it stopped. The entire 3 hours, I did not check it because I started enjoying something else. My mind got engaged into something that is probably, you know, creative as well. It is giving me a little bit of stress buster as well. That is where I thought, you know what, I need to probably increase this as well, get more engaged, learn a lot of things from the other people as well. I started getting engaged into plays as well. We recently did a play with around 55 kids for Raman, and I took up the voice recording, the recordings as well as the stage, and lot of things I learned from it. One, I met a lot of people who were also supporting that play. About a few CFOs that I met, a few people who manage their own companies as well, a few doctors as well. And when I got to interact with them, I learned very different things from them. One of the doctors, I told him, "What brings you here? Is it entertainment?" He said, "It is entertainment, and also I get to know people because I do surgeries. I read minds here as well because sometimes more than the surgery, it is explaining the patient about the problem that is there and the bottom possibilities that he might not exist." So he said, I meet here 800,000 people, I read their minds as well. I know how to interact. Not that these are my patients, but I know their reactions as well of how they would react to certain situations. I got to know a few of the CFOs here who manage very large organizations, and I got to know how they manage it. Right, they are probably looking into our financials here also at the committees. At the same time, they develop a lot of creative ways in which they handle people as well. Um, this is a volunteer-led organization, so nobody reports to nobody, right? It is how you learn to manage them. Um, you need to have a lot of patience. You need to work with people whom you absolutely don't know. You're probably meeting them for the first time. How do you really explain them? How do you want to deal with them? What he was telling me is when we started 20 years back, Sanjeev, we used to go to a lot of ministers, in India to get some approvals here. Now those same people started becoming our problem as well because they want to come to US for functions as well, and not all of them they want to invite as well, given their backgrounds as well. So he was telling me how he manages it, how he establishes connect, how he goes to the newspaper, how he does the marketing, what are the ways in which they have grown it. They started with some, 30 years, 50 years back with 7 families. Today there are like 1,000 people just attending it. So how does he manage those? How does he market it? Because the marketing should come with an area of, there is something for you as well. It is not about paying $25 for a show or $30 for a show, but what do you get? So he told me about how he started marketing, how he started managing people as well. I got to learn a lot of things as well when I was looking into the voice recording. Obviously, everyone wants to do good character. So initially, Ram and everyone wants to give a voice of Ram. So a lot of people wanted to give a Ram. When we started asking people about who is going to give a monkey voice, demon voice, birds, Ravan, nobody came up because that voice is associated with a character that probably is not so good, right? And everyone wants their name to come up for Ram but not Ravan, right? That is where then I learned how to really, tell them that they should sign up for it. Um, I gave some examples of villains in the movies as well who are more powerful sometimes than the heroes. I myself did couple of voices of birds, and then that helped me do a lot of research also of how a bird really is going to speak. There are a lot of cartoons that are there and how they make the noise. Um, that is where that creative angle kind of started coming in. How do I really make those noises, make those voices which will look for them? These were all a kids play. Initially, we started saying, let's do voice with kids. Lack of time, but we started, giving the voices. A lot of voice recorders that I started looking into it. That what's the best voice recorded, which will probably give me the best clarity because you're putting this in an auditorium, not probably a WhatsApp group. What are the different softwares that I need for making that videos better? What are the different software for putting and merging images? A lot of these weekends started getting engaged into how I really do it. what I really do it, and how to really work with everyone. Not everyone is going to get convinced with what you think. How do you convince them as well, or you ask them their ideas and you change probably, right? So a lot of patience is required to really go through about how you start looking into different things as well. That is where we started getting into it. Simple examples like we were doing the stage setup, and the budgets are limited, right? This is a voluntary organization, so you're not going to get like $20,000 for a stage. Very limited budgets. So we were thinking very hard how to put a hut, how to put a crown, how to put something that the king is going to sit on. And we had three, four creative minds here who are amazing. And we were standing in my garage, and one of the persons saw around 20 boxes, U-Haul boxes in my garage, and he said, "You know what? Let's build something out of it." And to our surprise, I'll show you a picture as well. We built a hut that was so amazing that a lot of people came and appreciated it. It was just U-Haul boxes, and the uh, the grass on it was actually taken from one of our friends' lawn itself. So we have big patches on his home now. We literally took it, stick it, got a lot of solutions to stick it as well. So those barriers probably one got broken. Second, started getting engaging with people, learning how they think, how those people really are managing their life, how they get disengaged as well. And when I started talking to them, most of them had got engaged into it, looking at how they would probably look at things differently. What do they get as well, right? How do these people get disengaged into their life as well? Few of the things that I learned is also about the amount of reading that these guys do. Because if you need to present something, you need to read a lot as well, or at least have a group that probably reads. I saw a group that reads a lot because when you're standing in front of audience, you expect a lot of unknown questions from the audience as well. Though it is just a announcement for programs, we have often seen that people also react to it. So how do people react it? It is reading the minds of people, reading how they are going to react. Even their simple jokes sometimes were taken out of context. So you really have to practice. I've seen them practicing. I have not done one, but I've seen them practicing for a while. For a 2 minute of MC, they used to practice 20, 25 minutes as well, saying what exactly crisply they want to say. That is where I learned how these guys who have done this for 20, 25 years know what to speak in probably just 1 minute and make that impact to 1,000 audience who's sitting there. They need to understand what you are going to present, why you are going to present, and that they have to do a power punch into it. So putting that crisply was something that I learned very well from them. So over this period, right? What did I take away from them? One was definitely looking at sorry. Um, One was definitely looking at how I probably um, you know how I probably got engaged. By the way, these are some of my pictures. One doing some PowerPoints. Second was the role that I talked about, and this was the hut that we built from a U-Haul boxes. U-Haul boxes and some $2, $3 paints from Home Decor and some doors that were pre-built as well. What did I get from all these things? One was disengage, disconnect from my work, right? The second is engaging with something which is very different, managing few things as well, learning from people about how they have managed their organization. They have managed this program, and through the program, what they learn. Like I gave an example of a doctor, example of a CFO was doing, example of somebody who's managing a large ERP company here. How does he manage it? um, Getting engaged with a person who called me for a spiritual session of an Indian person who's learning a Japanese sadhana as well, some Zen sadhana. So, kind of getting to know that hey, people do so many things in parallel, still are successful, still probably are good at it. What creativity to bring in? Like I told, the hut that was prepared, right? This guy is an solution architect with one of the largest insurance companies. He built with these ideas about huts and how do we paint it, how the doors can come in, um, getting their perspective and insights into how to manage it. So for me, the best thing that probably happened is getting away from my phone for those weekends. Obviously, there are some cons also of it. While these are, there are positive, there are cons as well. One, your WhatsApp group shoots up because we literally had we literally had groups like a project plan. We had somebody for stage, somebody for food. We had a 50-line project plan done also. Then you have a project plan group. You have a creative team. So obviously your number of WhatsApp group shoots up. Second, obviously your weekends get engaged as well. You need time for it. You can't um, take responsibility and not deliver. This is what I started learning, that you can't just say I want to do it and then not do it, because then people start banking on you. And there are timelines in that as well. You are given 3.5 months to fit the plane. So how can you be creative in that? Manage people time. Not every parent or every kid is available every Saturday. How do you manage around their time? How do you engage? And then lot to learn from their experience as well. So I think it is something that felt good. That there is a big entertainment factor, obviously, that comes with it. But with that came something that I was longing for, is about disconnecting myself and learning from something different, getting more creative into it. So that is how the entire work-life balance started coming in. Is it still there? Probably no. I'm probably 40-50% into it, but I'm sure my weekends, my inbox has started to see less emails from me. And I'm sure there'll be a day where I'll probably at minimal. Does that mean I completely disengage, or will I disengage? No. There would always be some things that need attention, that would be a little bit more urgent, is that would always have my attention as well, but not at the level of checking my emails continuously, because I found something that I can be as creative as my work. Thank you, everyone.